Oh, I love this country.
Hi, I'm Daryl.
And I'm Justine.
And we are the Breakaway Bravehearts.
We go wherever we want and then we share it with you.
And today we're in Rozafa, in Albania.
If you want to share our journey, don't forget to hit subscribe. I love history, and this place is full of it. So many different cultures have lived here, and each one of them has stamped their mark on the castle. It's a long walk up, and we debated whether or not to take the car. In the end, we opted to park down at the bottom of the hill and enjoy the view as we walked up the cobblestones.
I love the fact that the roads, the cobbles. Certainly bought the wrong shoes for this one.
You'll need the energy and bring yourself some water if you're coming in the summertime. The view really was worth it, and we were really happy when we got to the top and saw how difficult it was to park. We made the right decision to walk.
Here's you've got to be quite a driver.
So you drive up, but you've got to back down.
I love this country. It's in English.
Yes!
Ah, so the walls date back to 4th century before Christ.
It's really well signposted throughout with plenty of information.
Scan or tap.
The castle has 3 main courtyards. The first is just through the 15th century main entrance.
There you go. This is what you call original. Look at this.
Have you heard the story, the legend about this play? I mean, it involves like human sacrifice. There was 3 brothers. They were having problems keeping the walls built up, but they would always fall down. So this man says, the God demands that you make a human sacrifice. They were sworn to secrecy, not to tell their wives. For some reason, Rozafa, the wife of one of the brothers, actually said, it's okay, you can bury me alive in these walls. Although she did have one concern. Her concern was her son. So she asked for 1 eye, 1 arm, 1 foot, and her breast left free so that she was able to comfort her child.
And the castle still weeps milky tears at the castle on the hill.
In the second courtyard are the ruins of the Church of St. Stephen. This was originally built in the Romantic style. The arches are still standing, but the 5,000 tiles from Italy which were used to cover the church's roof are sadly long gone.
Oh gosh, look at this.
The church was converted into a mosque when the Ottomans took over in the second half of the 15th century. They actually kept some of the church's original objects, like the organ, as a war trophy. But to make it better fit with their faith, the Ottomans added a minaret on the south side and changed the altar into a mihrab. Castle grounds themselves were then abandoned by the locals and turned into a military base for the Ottomans.
It's a fairly modern-looking contraption.
Yes.
We weren't able to find out what this actually was. If you've got any insights, or even just guesses, please leave us a comment.
Body Treti. Don't know how you pronounce the E with the umlauts on the top. And I don't know if they're even called umlauts. Wow, who'd have thought that? Look at this. It's a place to have a beer.
You can use euro if you don't have the local currency, but they'll give you your change in Albanian lek, so be prepared for that.
Where do you want to go? Above?
Yeah.
Okay, so, right.
One of the things we loved about this site is there weren't any danger signs, barriers, stopping you from actually walking on the grounds and touching the artifact.
There's nothing to stop you falling down it.
Whoa! That like just goes on forever.
And that one too.
You can understand why so many different powers fought for this piece of land. It's strategically brilliant. The most famous battle that happened here was the Siege of Skadar. The Ottomans bombarded the castle for 19 days and launched 5 attacks. but lost them all. In the sixth attack, they succeeded in gaining a little bit of ground around the castle, so they decided to wait it out and starve those that were living on top of the hill. The locals ended up having to eat mice and rats. Eventually, the Venetians gave up the castle to the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans held on to the castle and the city of Skadar until Montenegro captured it in 1913. After the war, Skadar city and Rozafa Castle once again became part of Albania.
I can see my house from here. It's now in Albania going, look, they're the Montenegrin
Yes.
mountains. And somewhere between there is the border.
This must be the museum.
Yeah, this building was the residence of the Conte Capitan, Venetian ruler of Skadar. Okay, so what's it say? Tickets for children, $5.50. Tickets for adults, $200.
No cameras inside.
Any photo okay, but
So
No problem.
photograph but not video. Yeah, got it.
The museum is very well curated and cared for, with interesting displays that tell the history of the castle, including the most renowned families of the city. Upstairs is the actual table and chairs in the actual room where planning for war and peace negotiations were carried out. There's plenty of information in Albanian, English and Braille. A guide was also on hand speaking English and very kindly offered to answer any of our questions.
See a penny, pick it up all day long, you have good luck.
Yeah. Just want to see what's in this hole.
There's just something about being able to touch stone that has been touched by hands 2,500 years ago. Walking on cobblestones built by the Roman, peeking around the corners of homes lived in by Venetians. And on top of all of that, you get this incredible view.
King of the hill, then you do get to see a lot from above.
How are you feeling?
Fine. It's great. I'm glad we came.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
No, thank you. Having that extra coffee.
That helped.
Really has a advantage point, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, don't let me fall down. This one doesn't even have
Yeah. I
It's,
saw that one.
it's like
Yeah.
you're not watching where you're stepping, you go right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
What is it?
An entrance to somewhere new, which just
wow.
goes to show sometimes you just have to go look for some adventure. Well, I mean, initially when I came to Albania, certainly just driving to Tirana airport, it wasn't a little uneventful other than what happens on the roads because of the driving. Coming to what Albania is known for, which is their ruins, they are impressive ruins. You can imagine the power of the Ottoman, and you can just see the prime location of such a ruin that once would have been a community at work, having all of this surroundings to be able to feel protected and safe. It's really interesting.
This is a great little day trip for anyone who loves history or beautiful scenery and views. Make sure you wear good walking shoes and bring plenty of water.